It's Hyper Halloween! I've talked about a lot of horror movie monsters this month. Everything from zombies to possessed dolls to gremlins to zombies to killer Santa Clauses to dream demons to zombies to aliens and even STD ghosts. I feel like the killer clown hasn't had enough representation for this year, even though I did talk about some killer clowns, but they were from outer space. Art is a clown, but like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, he doesn't talk. I mean, that makes him a mime in my book, but what do I know? Art has been featured in 2 films, All Hallows Eve and Terrifier. A sequel to Terrifier is set to come out later this year, but I'm not sure what the exact date is. Might have actually come out by now, I'm not actually sure. All Hallows Eve is an anthology film featuring 3 short films revolving around art or just horror stories in general. Terrifier is a standalone movie that features art tormenting young women. Terrifier is a slasher film that does not shy away from the violence and gore. The plot is kind of lacking, but it's a slasher film. It doesn't really need one. Art is a sadistic clown that likes to torture his victims. He ends up in a pizza shop where he finds 2 young ladies. He stares at them, making one uncomfortable, but then he tries to put on the charm by getting her a ring from one of those toy dispenser things. Art does something gross in the pizza shop's bathroom and gets thrown out. The ladies leave and they find that their car's tires have been slashed. One calls for her sister to come pick him up, and as they wait, one decides to go in the building and use the restroom. Art then corners the one that was left in the car and attacks her. Later, the other tries to leave the building and she runs into Art. The rest of the movie is a game of cat and mouse through the building. She hides from Art, Art finds her, she hides again, the sister shows up, Art chases her, etc., etc. As I said, the story isn't anything groundbreaking. You're just here for Art. As I mentioned earlier, Art doesn't talk, but he does have the most presence of anyone in the film. Imagine if Freddy Krueger didn't talk, but he still acted like normal Freddy. This is basically what Art does. Art is portrayed by David Howard Thornton, who is said to have portrayed Art around Charlie Chaplin, Freddy Krueger, Tim Curry's take on Pennywise the Clown, and various portrayals of the Joker. It makes for a fantastic performance and a very memorable villain. Art the Clown is one of my newest favorite slasher movie villains. I'd put him up there with Freddy, Jason, Chucky, and the rest. His performance is honestly that memorable and great. It's what really makes Terrifier stand out to me. Just like with other slasher movies, you really go in to see the villain and what they're going to do next. And that's what makes Art so great. He's new, and you don't know what he's about to do. And trust me, he doesn't disappoint. Again, if you're looking for something with a great story and plot, this isn't the movie for you. But if you're looking for a new slasher film with a new slasher villain, check out Terrifier. Well, that wraps up this year's month-long Hyper Halloween. Hopefully you enjoyed going through this list of 31 of my favorite horror films with me. I at least hope that you got to learn about some horror films that you've never heard of before. I actually got to learn a few new things that I didn't know about some of my favorite films. In any case, I hope you have a happy and hyper Halloween. Stay safe out there, and, as always, thank you for watching.